on the table from now on, ever.
Hi, and welcome to Love Talk. Today's subject is about 3 stages of transformation. My name is Nila, and if this is the first time that you're watching Love Talk, let me tell you that this show is made by Mr. Gregory Morgan, Master of Neuro-Linguistic Programming, Certified Master Hypnotherapist, Owner and Chief Operations Officer of Embrace Growth, Mr. Gregory Morgan. Hello to you, sir.
Hi. Are we on? Excuse me for asking, but we just got a blank screen.
Yes,
we're good. Okay,
yes.
Thanks. Sorry for that, folks, but I wanted to ascertain we got a blank screen over here for a second. Welcome, and thank you for that introduction. We're going to talk about today something that comes up as a question for people over and over.
Yes.
And what comes up for people is that, have you ever noticed that you have a kind of relationship that seems to fit into a pattern of a previous relationship? Have you ever noticed that we start out on a brand new relationship, we're very excited, we go about creating intimacy and relatedness and getting connected with people, and then a month, 2 months, 3 months into that relationship, patterns that we recognize begin to show up, and we begin to see, we begin to react to those things. And by using the word react, I mean reenact, to act out again our same reactions. A response is something else, okay? Reactions and responses are 2 different things. A reaction is to reenact something from the based on a previous experience. A response is to actually be response-able, to respond to the current circumstance as it is, with full consciousness that it is not a circumstance from the past, okay? So we begin to react to these circumstances, and then the relationship goes through the same patterns that are all too familiar for us. So I want to talk about that today, because in the source of that is what I call first stage development, okay? First stage development, or, you know, it's not really transformation yet. It's normal action reaction, or in another language you might say a stimulus response reactivation, and it's very mechanical. There's no you necessary for this. I mean, you as a human being. There's no you as a human being necessary or present when these reactions are taking place. So no wonder you have what we call baggage or repeated relationships that follow the same pattern. Okay? Okay. So in the first stage of this development, I'm going to call it the first stage of development, the statement is that we depend on another one to be whole. Mm-hmm. Okay? I depend on you to be whole, or you make me whole, mm-hmm. right? You make me complete. That's what is being unconsciously said, mm-hmm. and maybe openly said, yes. in the form of poems, yes. and songs. Yes. And so there is a belief, and remember we've talked about in previous shows that a belief is something that you fundamentally are convinced is yes. true, yes. right? Yes. So there is a fundamental coming from, in other words, a basis of belief, mm-hmm. that I am incomplete, I am not whole, mm-hmm. There's some part of me missing, mm-hmm. and I must find another in order to be complete. And when I find that other, this soulmate, this other one that makes me complete, then I will be complete. Okay?
So I'm 50%, and I need another 50% to be 100%.
Absolutely. That's the hidden belief. Mm-hmm. Okay?
Yes.
It's hidden because you just don't see it, right?
Yes. Yes.
It's not that it's hiding in plain sight, mm-hmm. right? It's hiding in plain sight. So we look where we think we're most likely to find it, right? So you may have lost your car keys in the dark.
Yes.
Side of the street,
yes,
but there's a street lamp over there, so you go look for your car keys where there's light.
Yes.
That's not where the car keys are, so you're not going to find them.
Yep.
So, you know, how many times have you or I lost your car keys, and you go to the drawer where they're supposed to be, and you open the drawer and you look through the drawer and they're not there, so you close the drawer and then you go look everywhere else they're supposed to be. You come back to the drawer, open the same drawer again and look, even though you know they're not there. Okay? Even though you know they're not there, you keep going back to the same places where they're supposed to be. So, this is sort of a interesting thing about human nature as well, okay? The interesting thing about human nature is we respond to things that we think ought to be or should be. We have a more powerful relationship with should, would, and could than we do with actual reality.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It should be this way. Well, if it was this way, it could be that way. And I only wish it, if it only it would be that way, you see. If it would be that way, then. So this is hypothesizing. It's called hypothesizing. You are projecting a possible reality. You know, it may not be a probable reality, but it's a possible reality.
Yeah.
And so you're projecting a possible reality and then lending it credence. In other words, giving it energy more than the actual reality, the present day, present moment reality. So, you know, it's part of our lives to have, we have something that is use a scientific term, it's called the reticular activating system. Okay, it's a part of our brain that looks out into the future, projects a overwhelmingly positive outcome into the future, and I'll get back to that, why I say it's overwhelmingly positive, projects an outcome into the future and then goes towards that outcome as if it were real. Now, this is great because if you didn't have it, you wouldn't get up in the morning. Okay? You wouldn't get up in the morning, you wouldn't get dressed, you wouldn't go to work, you wouldn't go down to the grocery store and buy food. You wouldn't do anything, you see, because you get up in the morning and you keep living every day and you keep working to feed yourself and to make the world a better place because fundamentally you believe, and I'm going to say without any real evidence, you fundamentally believe that it's true that the world will get better, that today will be better than yesterday. You believe that I'm going to be alive and live another day and make some more money or do whatever it is I do, and I'm going to make some kind of a difference in the world and it's going to be better. So thank God we have that. That's a good thing, right? It's good that we have that. It motivates us and keeps us moving forward. It could be said that depression is when you no longer believe that anything else is going to be any better, and so you just don't do anything anymore and you begin into a stage of decline.
Yes.
We're not talking about that. We're talking about people who actually consider and believe fundamentally that the world's going to be a better place, that the next relationship is going to be better and work out, that I'm going to save money in my bank account because I'm going to spend it on something better in the future that's going to make my life better. So these are all positive projected outcomes. We fundamentally believe that it's going to be better. Okay, so I think I've covered that enough. Okay, however, we also fundamentally believe that we are incomplete, that we lack wholeness, and we've either learned from songs and books and movies and plays and dramatic storylines that we are incomplete and somebody else will make us whole. And so if we go find that person, we'll be whole.
Yes.
Now, here's the part of the downside of that is that you now need a relationship.
Yes.
Right? Because you're obviously not whole. So because all things seek wholeness and completion, particularly us human beings, we seek to be whole and complete. You need a relationship. Without this, you'll never be whole. And so you must have it.
Yes.
The problem with things that you need, okay? If you need a relationship, then how likely are you to have clearly defined boundaries?
You don't.
Well, yeah. In other words, if
your need depends on someone else, then you have to wait for someone else.
you have to wait for or look for somebody
Yes,
else.
yes.
But also, if you need someone else or you need a relationship, then wouldn't you do just about anything to get it?
Yes.
That's where the lack of boundaries comes in.
Yes.
In other words, we began to do whatever it takes to get that relationship. And of course, we're designed to do whatever is the most likely to get it as soon as possible with the least amount of, I'm going to say, with the least cost of calories, the least amount of money, the least amount of effort, the least amount of time. In other
Yes.
words, to get the most for the least. We're designed to do that because, well, we're human beings and we're very good at surviving,
Yes.
right? So part of our survival mechanism is to do that. And so if a good example would be hold your breath for as long as you can, right? Or be put in a situation where you can't breathe. At some point, you will do whatever it takes to get a breath.
Yes.
Okay? Same for food, right?
Yeah.
If you don't have food, you'll start your normal, and this is what happens in disasters, for example. It's not the actual disaster, the earthquake, and you know, shout out to the people in Mexico from yesterday, but it's not the natural disaster that's terribly horrible, although that's true, but it's what becomes of people after that.
Yeah.
In their desperation and in their need, human beings who are normally kind and beneficent and generous and even self-sacrificing to a certain point, all that goes out the window, and our human animal comes out like, I gotta get some food, and I gotta get warm, and I gotta get my kids safe, and whatever. And so all the rules go out the window. That's what I mean by, if you need a relationship, you're not likely to have good boundaries.
Yes.
Okay? So the first stage of development is dependent on another to be whole, need a relationship, lack of boundaries. And that's marked by a lack of boundaries. Right? So when there is a lack of boundaries, just in relationships, what are some of the ways that plays out that you could identify?
Can you put it in another way?
Okay. If you need a relationship and you
Yes.
lack boundaries,
Yes.
and you say, okay, for you, for example, I mean, for a woman, say, well, okay, I want a certain type of man,
Yes.
and he must be financially successful. He must be within a certain age,
Yes.
because I want to have children or whatever.
Should be honorable.
He should be honorable.
Yes.
He should have integrity and have a good reputation with the people that know him.
Yes.
He must like children.
Yes.
He must come from, I don't know, it's your, every person has a right to choose. Maybe you want somebody from a certain ethnic background,
Yes.
or somebody from like that, right? Or maybe must have some kind of religious belief that I
Yes.
hold to, and so forth, right? So these would be your boundaries.
Yes.
If anybody outside of that is simply not a candidate,
Yes.
period.
Yes.
I'm only searching for people that have these qualities, and if they don't have these qualities, then thank you very much,
Yes.
but I don't have time for this,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Now, if you need a relationship,
Got it.
right? Okay, well, okay, he didn't really have any money, and he's not from the right background, and, you know, when I talk to the people that know him, you know, his reputation's not so good, but I love him.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because he makes me feel a certain way.
Yeah.
Right? So this is what I mean by lack of boundaries. Now, here's an interesting thing. We human beings are like radio transmitters. I'm going to use that example. Okay? We're sending out frequencies and vibrations. Okay? And these frequencies and vibrations are actually measurable. We actually can feel them from each other, right? I'm sure that you've had somebody walk into the room that you felt a natural attraction to, or conversely, somebody that you felt a natural repulsion about. Maybe you don't know why. You say, I don't know, that person, when they're around, I feel uncomfortable. Or that person, when they're around, I feel safe, or I feel warm and friendly, or I feel attracted, right? So people are putting out a kind of energy, all right, that I'm sure is measurable. But how I know this is, how do, you know, babies know this. Babies can feel, infants can feel people's energy. Animals feel people's energy. So there's some kind of an energetic field that we, for the sake of this conversation, that we're putting out. Now, the reason I say it's like a radio station is that if you have your radio tuned to 96.5, that means that your radio, the device in your car or wherever you're using it, is actually receiving only that. There's, you know, all the radio waves from the entire spectrum, but it is open to, meaning it's sending out a signal itself. The radio itself is actually sending out a signal that receives that signal out of the infinite amount of signals that are out there. All the microwaves and the radio waves and the television waves and whatever other kind of waves that there are that's going on. And by the way, they're moving through our bodies and through the room at all times. Okay? So there's always radio waves of some kind from somewhere, okay, coming through us. But we are only tuned into listening to a certain spectrum of them. So if your radio is tuned to 95.5, is that what I said? You are not going to hear 95.7, period. It's just not on your radio wave. You're not receiving that. So if you need a relationship and you lack boundaries and you need someone to be whole, the only kind of person that you will ever be attracted to, or who will naturally be attracted to you, is someone of that same vibratory field. Okay? So you will continue to attract to yourself only those people who need someone to be whole, and who are looking for someone who lacks boundaries, and who need someone to be in a relationship so that they can feel whole. Okay? That's all you're going to get. So somebody who has good boundaries, who doesn't need anyone, who is whole and complete in and of themselves, and is ready to have a relationship with somebody who is whole and complete and happy and fulfilled on their own, and looking for someone like themselves, that person will not even be attracted to you. Right? That person, and you wouldn't be attracted to them either. You just won't show up. You could be in the same room together and you'd be just like, oh, maybe you like how they're dressed, or they might like how you're dressed, or there might be some outward or superficial attraction or initial engagement, but it won't go anywhere.
Wow.
It just won't go anywhere. It'll just neutralize, you will neutralize each other, because it's like, okay, have you ever been on a radio station and you can kind of hear another one? That's called a malfunction, right? Okay. It's not supposed to do that, right? It's called bleed through. So somebody might be similarly motivated, but it's so different that it's not at all, right? So now that calls up the next stage that we were talking about. We said there's 3 stages of development that we were going to talk about. Is there any questions about that one, or have any questions come in?
Okay. One person, a woman, said, I know my boundaries about relationship, but when I saw a man, I forgot all about it. I have been in this relationship with my boyfriend for 3 years, but all these years I was the one who has held it, and now I don't know what to do. I need to make him meet my expectations.
Yes. So expectations are not the same as boundaries, are they?
No.
Yeah. An expectation is toxic to love and relationships. It's like putting weed killer on your roses, right? You make a beautiful garden, and then there's, you spray something on there, you think maybe it's bug killer, but in fact it's weed killer, and your roses wilt and fall off, and then you go, how come I can't get that back, right? Expectations are toxic to love. Love does not expect anything. Love has boundaries. I'm not talking about unconditional agape love, which I doubt if anyone watching is actually at that stage in their development. Unconditional agape love belongs to God and mothers, okay? And even then, unconditional love is not agape love. Unconditional love of a mother for her child is different than the unconditional love of humanity, the saint who loves humanity in spite of their evil and wrongdoings. Okay? So we're not talking about those kinds of love here today. We're talking about romantic love, which is absolutely conditional. Okay? In romantic love, there's rules, and you break those rules, the romantic love goes away, and so then now you're left with, why are we even together, right? So the lady who asked the question, right, or who made the comment, is in this stage where without boundaries, the possibility of love growing is so vastly diminished that it's almost impossible to expect anything. So if I go down to the garden store, and I buy some beautiful plants because I love the flowers on them, and I take those plants and I just it says not too much sunlight, keep it in the shade, partial sunlight, how they always have those little tickets, but I take it and I stick it right out in the sand in the backyard, and don't water it, and let any weed that wants to grow around it. What do you think, how many flowers am I going to get, right? And then I go, I expected to get flowers from this. They said this thing would make flowers, but I didn't read the instructions, and I didn't follow the instructions. Yes. So there's no very small chance that I might get some flowers from that plant. You see, so when you start into a relationship because you need it, and it's codependent from the beginning, here's what happens in dependent relationships, the first stage that I'm talking about. I need someone to be whole. There always ends up being, it's never 50-50. It always ends up that one person is 100% and the other one is a 0. One person is the king and the other one is the slave, or king or queen, and the other one is like the slave or the servant. One of them has all the rights, all the privileges, all the love, all the attention, the first of everything.
Yes.
And the other one's kind of serving them, submitting to them out of need.
Yes.
Okay? And so then to turn around and say, I expected this to be much better. I expected there to be love to grow. It's not your fault. You simply did not start out in a condition that was likely to produce the events. And nobody taught you this. And you learned from your environment that codependent relationships were the best way to go, and that was the only model perhaps that you ever had. And so I got that. So what I would recommend is that you give up your expectations. Expect absolutely nothing. Simply begin to see what are your conditions, what are your boundaries, What is it that you will put up with, and what will you not put up with, that you won't stand for? And then then I would suggest that the two of you find your way into some kind of couples therapy, so that you could both begin to speak about what it is that you need from each other and what you want from each other, and begin to make promises about what you're going to deliver to that relationship. That would be a good beginning. That wouldn't take you all the way to the end of your life, but that would get you started in the right direction. It's pretty difficult to correct the course of a relationship that started off on the wrong direction in the first place. Okay? If I'm in California and I want to go to New York and I take off going north, I will end up in Canada, not New York. So can you see that it is a little more difficult for me to get to New York now that I've gone off course for 3 years? Okay? If I start off in the right direction, I could still get lost, but it's a little easier to get back on course if you at least start off in the right direction. So we're going to take a break. When we come back, I'm going to talk about 2 other stages of development, and of course the phone lines are open. The studio number here is 818-532-6655. We'd love to, we have a phone right here, we're going to answer the line, and we'd love to take your questions live on the air, or if you're live streaming with us either on live stream, Facebook, YouTube, or any of the other platforms that we're using, then you can always text in your questions, and I'll do my best to answer them for you, okay? So we'll be back in just a few moments.
در جستجوی رابطه‌ای پرمعنا و ماندگار باید زنی دوست داشتنی باشید، مردی قهرمان باشید. سمینار شناخت مرد قهرمان و زن دوست داشتنی با دکتر آزیتا سایان، لندن 24 سپتامبر، بون 26 سپتامبر، اورنج کانتی 15 اکتبر و تورنتو 31 اکتبر. برای تجربه‌ای به یاد ماندنی به ما بپیوندید.
Embrace Growth has a new home online where you can easily register for workshops and events, order from the online store, and be part of the worldwide community of Embrace Growth graduates. You'll be able to see Dr. Azita Sayan and Mr. Gregory Morgan in your favorite seminars. Visit us today at embracegrowth.com. A man of character, responsibility, and resourcefulness. Become that man and join us on the journey towards manhood, finding a better person within. Embrace Growth is offering the Honor, Integrity, and Mastery Workshop in Hamburg, Toronto, Yerevan, and Los Angeles. Sign up today at embracegrowth.com and see the transformation in your life. The Embrace Growth app is finally here. You start by signing in just as you would online, and from there, you'll see all of your account settings. Once in the app, you'll have access to events and all of Embrace Growth's original content. Registering for workshops and seminars is easier than ever, and tools for managing your profile and options are built right in. Schedule private sessions and connect with the global Embrace Growth community. Download it today on the App Store. A haven for the weary soul, a source of inspiration and community, redesigned to bring you meaningful experiences and unforgettable events. We are a worldwide community of vibrant individuals, displayed in the people who are a part of it, from many nations, backgrounds, and beliefs. Through powerful outreach programs, the struggles of everyday life are confronted and conquered, transforming those who participate into the best versions of themselves. One-on-one sessions are available to keep you headed in the right direction, coupled with the best resources to remind you how to live, whether at home or elsewhere. Programs designed for men, providing the building blocks of maturity, commitment, integrity, and leadership, paving the way for productive and fulfilling manhood. Beyond an understanding of masculine leadership is its application in daily life and development into something truly unique. Exclusive training for women, encouraging growth and empowerment through an acceptance of their true identities. redefining interactions, and changing the viewpoint through which life is seen. Embracing the woman within and accessing facets of your personality hidden beneath the surface. Showing our youth the value of integrity and reliability by creating an indwelling desire to succeed with honor, basing the future on a solid foundation of ideals that will guide them through life, leading by example, and showing others how to clearly convey their thoughts in a compelling way, creating a culture of mature leaders who can help others achieve self-confidence and their goals. Real people and real lives are changed for the better. With every event, more are touched and come to an understanding of their place in this world and their community. Embrace Growth is run by a passionate team and led by the diligence and inspiration of Dr. Azita Sayan and Mr. Gregory Morgan, who consistently teach life lessons based on what works, rather than the passing fads of the times. Welcome to the Embrace Growth app. There's a new way to communicate and join in. Create your free account online and sign into the app. Manage your profile on the go and choose between English or Farsi. Register for events and schedule appointments more easily than ever. Stream audio, video, and download books all over Wi-Fi or cellular. Sign up for workshops and seminars right on your phone. And access your audio and video library in the palm of your hand. Take your favorite lessons from Dr. Azita Sayan and Mr. Gregory Morgan with you. Download it today on the App Store.
Welcome to the all-new EmbraceGrowth.com. You'll have access to all the content you love at the click of a button. Videos of seminars, events, and the ability to sign up for workshops. Direct access to digital downloads right from your mobile devices. Stay in the know and see our latest graduate events. Watch your favorites anytime, anywhere. Visit us today at EmbraceGrowth.com.
And we are back with the show named Love Talk, and the subject is 3 stages of transformation or development. We have someone on the line that has a question, so we're going to go answer that. Hello, you're on the line.
Hello.
Yes, you're calling from UK, and you had a question, and you were concerned that it might not be related to the topic that we're talking about. But what is your question?
Yeah.
What's your question?
Yeah, I actually, just left the comment, and you gave me some answers about it, but I thought it's better to just explain it to
No, just
more complete.
well, without a long explanation, what is your question?
Yeah, but it's just about I think that relationship for 3 years with someone, and I knew what my boundaries are, but the thing is, I knew that he couldn't just actually meet my expectations. But as you said, in some relationship, we put 100% and it's 0 from the other side.
Mm-hmm.
And because I've been with him for 3 years, it's really difficult for me just to finish that relationship, I just want to just make it work, but I don't know what to do at the moment, because it's all the time, it just makes me feel that I'm the one who's doing everything, and he's the one he's enjoying the relationship without putting any effort into that relationship.
That is called a codependent relationship. Okay, that is called a codependent relationship, and I'm sorry to tell you, but those never end well. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
This is not something that actually ends up turning out well. Okay, in a codependent
Oh.
relationship, it is very difficult to turn around the person. There's always one who is being supported by the other. You're the supporter, right?
Yes, yes,
Right? There's one who who's in charge of everything, who's receiving all the benefits of the relationship at very little cost to themselves, if any, and the other one who's supporting the entire cost of the relationship. Now,
yes,
how that usually turns out is that once, in your case, you, because you're playing that role, once you get used up, you get old,
yeah,
you get angry, you're not supplying this person's need, the egotistical person's needs anymore. They are simply discarded,
mm-hmm.
just like you would discard a tissue that you've used. Okay, they're discarded.
Yeah,
Okay, so that's how that turns out usually. Sometimes it turns out that the person in your position asks for help, and then the couple gets brought into a couples therapy in which the other person has a change of heart. In other words, they have a transformation in their life. They realize, wow, I really love this person, and I've been doing this all wrong in the first place, and please help me to learn how to do it right.
yeah,
Okay? Now, that's
yeah.
just statistically, that's very unlikely to happen.
Oh,
It might,
okay.
but you would know this person that you're in relationship with better than I would, so I'm just, I'm letting you know after seeing thousands of people that generally those relationships have a time stamp on them. They expire. This is not a lifelong relationship.
Right.
Now, it used to be your parents and my parents. Back in those days, people believed in spending their whole lives together, but you're not even married to this person. He has zero to lose by moving on or cheating on you or anything else.
Yes, right.
Okay, so when you were asking
Yeah,
about
he's been
boundaries,
cheating once.
pardon me?
Yeah, he's been cheating once.
Yeah,
He's
and
been cheating once on me.
that's not surprising. Men are not attracted to
But then
needy
he just
women.
came back.
Men are not attracted to needy women. Now,
Mm-hmm.
okay, people who want to be in a codependent relationship where they're the top dog, they're attracted to needy women because they know that they can get what they want.
Yeah.
Okay?
So what do you suggest now then?
Well, I suggest that
Because I don't want to waste another year,
No. How old are you?
everything on him if it's like that.
How old are you?
I'm 38.
Okay. Have you ever been married?
Yeah, I've been married for about 12 years, and it was like quite like physically and emotionally abusive, like marriage I had.
Yes.
So,
Well, are you beginning to see a pattern here? You went from an abusive marriage in which you stayed for 12 years. And then you went into another, this is just emotionally abusive. Maybe he's not hitting you or being violent or whatever, but he's not giving you what you need.
yeah.
He's not taking care of
It
you.
doesn't give me attention that I need. No, it doesn't give me care or attention, whatever I need in the relationship.
Emotional
Just only me who
deprivation.
put effort.
Emotional deprivation is a type of hidden violence. Okay? Emotional deprivation causes trauma. Okay? For somebody to be emotionally deprived, not given what any person would naturally need, appreciation, acknowledgement, intimacy, closeness, happiness, caring from a person that they're caring for and taking care of and appreciating and supporting, it's natural to want that in return. Yes?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So when you're denied that for a prolonged period of time, This is what I was talking about in the earlier stage, because I want to move on to the second stage, and maybe this will help you. But in the stage that you have in, you depend on another to be whole. This is why you'll find somebody, even though you'd rather be with somebody who doesn't appreciate you or take care of you or give back to you what you deserve, than to be alone.
Yeah.
Right? So you need somebody to be whole.
Yeah.
Okay? That means you need a relationship, no matter what the cost. That means you have no boundaries. You will sacrifice your dignity, your self-respect, your self-love, your self-appreciation. You will appear to the other person and to yourself to be foolish and needy in order to stay in that relationship.
Yes, you're right.
That is a complete lack
And I
of
don't
boundaries.
like it.
There's no possibility for
yeah.
love, or there's no possibility for love or happiness in that relationship. Do you understand that?
Yes, yeah.
Really? Then why aren't you
Yeah,
packing your
saying
bags
to
right
me,
now?
like,
Are you financially dependent on him?
no, not at all. I'm very independent about it. You know, I just manage my life and my kids and everything on my own.
Is he dependent on you?
No dependence.
Does he need your money?
No, he doesn't. But no.
Okay,
It's
great.
just like kind of like attention and caring that I give to him, but in like a return, I don't get the like appreciation from him. It makes me so depressed and like feeling unwanted, or it's just like I'm not good enough for him. But like,
and you're addicted to that feeling, by the way. You personally are addicted to that feeling of feeling worthless and feeling. You're addicted to that.
Exactly.
If somebody treated you like a queen and gave you everything you wanted and all the attention and love and everything that you'd ever want, and wanted to take care of you and make you the most important person in their life, you'd be repulsed by them. You wouldn't even be attracted to them. You'd find something wrong with them.
Why is like that then? Why are all the...
But wait, did you get that? Did you hear what I said?
Yeah. Really? I just attract to that kind of person that like I like more go with someone that just refusing me, you know, than someone coming to me and asking, you know.
I know. I
like my attention, and I hate it. I really hate that, and I want to change it. I don't know what to do. I don't know where to start.
Start with your local therapist. Start with going to the women-only workshop. That'll be a lot less expensive and more efficient than most therapies that you could go through. In 3 days in a workshop, we have watched literally hundreds and hundreds of women like you in those same types of relationships transform their relationships forever. Then their husbands come and say, "What'd you do to my wife?" We'd say, "Take the Honor, Integrity, and Mastery workshop and you'll find out." And then we see these same couples who have been in these very diminishing relationships for years and years turn their lives around. Now, does it happen every single time? I can't say that it does. But what I can say is that it happens so often that it's absolutely predictable that it will happen.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
When people...
And is there any like a series or something that I can order online? Because
yes, there are. If you go to embracegrowth.com, go to embracegrowth.com. It's in the bottom right of your screen, okay? Go to embracegrowth.com. There are tons of seminars, workshops, and downloadable seminars that you can download for, like, I don't know what it is in pounds, but it's $20, $19 and something.
Okay.
Okay, and you can download them instantly. We also have an app that you can download from either Android or Apple app that you can download, and that's free. And then on that app you can also have access to all of our we have an abundance of inexpensive and free information out there. We've
Okay,
purposely
that's
for
great.
over 18 years flooded YouTube and Facebook, just like we're doing today. This is a free show. We're flooding people with free information. Okay, so educate yourself, but don't think that listening to a bunch of CDs and stuff or downloadable MP4s is going to change your life. You have to do something.
Yeah.
Right? I can
Yeah.
listen to all the music I want, but it doesn't mean I can play Chopin on the piano.
Of course.
All right? You need to go practice.
Yeah.
Okay. All right? And take some lessons. So I'm going to move on to the next question, but please use the resources that we have out there. And
Sure.
you know, my recommendation is to get into a workshop or someplace where you see, the fact that you even made this call and watched this show shows me that you're fed up enough that you're reaching out for help. You say, okay, I got a problem, I better do something about it. That's an important initial step in self-awareness. Now I'm aware that I have an issue and I'm going to do something about it. That's a second step, right? Now, a lot of people get to that step and they never actually do anything. So I'm challenging you to take the next step. Go. How you know you're committed to changing this situation is you will put your money and your time into it. Okay? Everything that is important to you, you're already spending money and time doing it. Okay? If it's important to you to go to lose weight or get your body in shape, you would spend money, go to the gym, get a trainer, and work out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, if it's important to you to change this relationship in your life, then you need to go put some money and time into it, okay?
Of course, yes.
All right.
Because I'm really fed up with it, as you said, and I really want to do something and stop
Well,
all those like that and low feeling that he gives me, you know.
I got it. Listen, we don't need to repeat that. We already know that. I'm encouraging you to take the next
Yeah,
step,
sure.
and we're going to move on with the
Yeah.
show. Thank you for your call, and
Okay.
I hope this has made a
Thank you
difference
for
for
your
you.
time.
You're welcome. Thank you.
I want to say the dates for the workshops.
Okay. Yes.
Okay.
For those of you who are now interested in finding out about the workshops, let's do that.
Yes. Women only workshop in 3 days. Toronto, 3 to 5th of November. Los Angeles, 17th to 19th of November. Yerevan, Armenia, 14th to 16th of December. Europe, 20 to 22nd of April. The workshop for men for 3 days. In Hamburg, 6th to 8th of Hamburg. Los Angeles, 16th to 18th of February. And in Yerevan, Armenia, 9th to 11th of August. And the good news is that we have a very, very special offer till end of September, that if 4 people register together for any workshop, any primary workshop, you can get a very amazing discount. You can call the office. The number is 310-460-2600, 310-460-2600, and sign up yourself, family members, friends. A group of 4 will get a very, very special discount till end of September.
So let me, just for the clarity of our ocean, so if I want to take the workshop,
Yes.
and I have 3 other friends that also want to take the workshop,
Yes.
and we come to Embrace Growth together and say, us 4 people, we want to take the workshop,
Yes.
and we're all together registering now for the
Yes.
workshop. It's about a $300 savings each person, isn't it? Something
more
like
than
that.
300,
It's
more than
it's 400. So the 4 of us together
Yes.
would save $1,600 approximately
Yes.
if we registered all together,
Yes.
collectively.
Yes.
Okay. So we've never done this offer before. We've done a lot of people are signing up for it, and the workshops are filling up. So if it's something that you're interested in, and you've been wanting to do one of our workshops, or you know somebody who has, this is a chance to do them at a greatly reduced rate. And that offer is expiring at the end of this month, which is about 10 days from now.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm also want to use this time to announce the very amazing seminar that we have all over the world.
Okay.
Knowing Heroic Man and Lovable Woman, which is going to be in London, 24th of September, Bonn, Germany, 26th of September, Orange County, 15th of October, San Jose, 22nd of October, and Toronto, 31st of October. For all of these seminars, you have to book your place in advance because it's getting sold out very fast. You can call the office and get your tickets, or you can go to embracegrowth.com and purchase your tickets.
And that phone number and email address is in the bottom right of your screen, so we're easy to find, folks.
Yes. Yeah.
We want you to take our workshops and our seminars, and the seminars are actually a very good way for people to get to know if this is something that you would like to pursue or not.
Yes.
Okay. So let's see if we can get to the next stage.
Yes.
in development. Once you get past this stage of needing someone, and I've already mentioned that you will only attract the type of person who is on the same vibratory or emotional frequency that you're on. You will be attracted to and attract those kinds of people, okay? The next stage is that you are whole and complete unto yourself. That means you have the ability to be happy, you like your own company, you respect who you are, you have determined for yourself or clarified for yourself what are your boundaries. Now your boundaries, somebody asked what are boundaries? It's whatever you are standing for in your life, and if you do, they say if you don't stand for something, you'll stand for anything. Meaning, if you don't have something in your life that's important to you, that you're standing for, that has meaning for you, that you want your life to be about, and that you're going to live your life according to these principles, if you do not have that in your life, then you don't even know who you are, and you're back in the first category in the first place. You don't know who you are. If you don't know what you stand for, then you'll stand for anything. Anybody that comes along and makes an offer, even though it doesn't, it's like living in your house with the doors and windows open. Yeah, it's your house. People aren't supposed to go in there, but anybody could, anytime they want. You see, so it's like living in this open space that has no boundary. When you begin to say, wait, this is my home or this is my life, I'm going to own my life, then I get to say who and what comes in, and I get to say what kind of people I will associate with, because I only want to associate and give my life energy with the people who are going in the direction I'm going. That doesn't mean that I only like people who like what I like. You know, it's not like the liberal thing that we have going on in this country today, where it's like we love everybody as long as they love everybody, and if you don't love everybody, then we hate you, right? It's not that. It's I know what I stand for. I stand for honor and integrity. Me, that's my personal thing. That's what lights me up and turns me on. When I see honor and integrity, man, I want to stand up and salute. I want to say, yeah, this is it. It gets me excited and turned on. I get the chills. I get everything, right? I get tears in my eyes. This is what makes me move. And it's what I give my life for, and it's what I would give my life to defend. So people that don't have honor and don't have integrity, I'm okay with them. I don't have to fix them. Although, unless they pay me, unless they take my workshop, I don't have to fix them, and I don't have to hang out with them, right? So as a woman, you need to know what it is that you stand for. Are you standing for having a lifelong relationship? Are you standing for having children? Are you standing for having the kind of man in your life who would appreciate you and provide and protect you? If you're standing for that, then anyone else outside that simply should not be able to get in your door. They're not allowed. Sorry, come back when you've grown up or when you have a better offer. I'm not interested. Thank you very much. I'm not going to go on a date with you. I'm not going to give you my phone number. I'm not, I'm not going to go meet your family. I'm not going to live with you for 3 years. I'm not interested. Thank you. This is not what I'm looking for in my life. And so if you don't have those kind of boundaries, then you will not have that kind of relationship. And the kind of man that you are looking for will not find you. He's looking for women who have proper boundaries, who know what they're standing for. The kind of guy you're looking for is looking for someone who has those qualities and will not be interested in, other than, momentarily, a woman who has no boundaries, period. Okay? So you attract what is like you. Okay? Now there is another stage, and I only have a few minutes left in the show, and I want to make sure that I get a chance to that. Okay? There's a stage that follows that, and I call it being whole isn't enough. Okay? In this stage, you are whole and complete, you're happy, you're fulfilled, you appreciate your own solitude, you don't feel lonely, you're just whole and complete, and you are at a place in your life where you want to share your wholeness and completion with someone. Not because you need to be complete, but because you can. Because you have enough love, enough time, enough energy, enough finances, enough healthy well-being that you want to share with another person. Not for any other reason than you can. It's available. So when I say being whole is not enough, it means you want to go beyond wholeness. You're like, I'm full inside of life and love and well-being, and my personal self-expression would be to share that with another, to give that goodness and that love and that happiness and that well-being to another human being. Now, one of my friends told me, givers that give to takers always become losers. Givers that give to other givers always win. Right? So again, using this referring back to that same principle, is that you attract what is like you. When you're whole and complete and full of your own, from your own doing, not because some fairy godmother made you beautiful, right? But because you've done the hard work of looking inside yourself, you've done the forgiving, you've forgiven yourself, you've gone to the therapy or the workshops or read the books or the meditation or whatever is your path. I'm not saying there's a right path. I am saying there's a path that's right for you. Okay?
Yeah.
There's not a right path for everyone, but there is a right path for each person. Okay? And when you've followed your path, you will come to a place where you're whole and complete in and of yourself, and the natural thing for you to want to do is to share that with another. Then, when you will only open your heart to a man or a woman who is full and whole and complete, only then can that person show up. Only then will they show up, and they'll just appear, they'll be there. They may have been there all along waiting for you to get it. Okay? Sometimes we discover that somebody that we've known all these years has just been waiting for us to get how much they love us and they're with us.
Yeah.
And I mean, that happens, and it happens more often than one might think. So when you're ready, they say when the student is ready, the master appears, but there's many ways of interpreting that. Okay? I believe that we are all students of life. I'm certainly a student of life. And the master may not refer to another human being. The mastery in you will appear. When the student is ready, your mastery will appear. Right? That's what I believe. That's my interpretation of that phrase. Okay? I used to think that, okay, as a student, I need to get myself ready so that, some wise, more capable person will show up and teach me what to do. I've more often than not found that I am the person that I was waiting to show up. I was waiting for my own inner wisdom to show up. So that pretty much sums up the 3 stages. In this stage, you say, I don't need, but I desire a mate. Okay? I want to open myself to complete love and to share it with another. I desire a mate. I want to have love and completion in my life and to go deeper than I could have ever gone on my own. So that's the 3 stages of development. I hope that this has been useful. I will say that the 3rd stage requires a great deal of discipline and rigor, because like everything, we're human beings. There is a tendency to go back to old patterns.
Exactly.
There will be a tendency, as soon as you open your heart to another, stuff from the past comes up. And this is what requires discipline, and this is where the mastery comes in. The mastery comes in when you recognize that, oh, that's just an old pattern from the past. I don't have to go down that path anymore. I'm done with that. I choose this path now.
Like always, amazing. Thank you so much, Mr. Morgan, and thank you for being with us on Facebook live stream and YouTube. We will be with you next Wednesday.
Thank you very much.
در جستجوی رابطه‌ای پرمعنا و ماندگار باید زنی دوست داشتنی باشید، مردی قهرمان باشید. سمینار شناخت مرد قهرمان و زن دوست داشتنی با دکتر آزیتا سایان، لندن 24 سپتامبر، بون 26 سپتامبر، اورنج کانتی 15 اکتبر و تورنتو 31 اکتبر. برای تجربه‌ای به یاد ماندنی به ما بپیوندید.
Embrace Growth has a new home online where you can easily register for workshops and events, order from the online store, and be part of the worldwide community of Embrace Growth graduates. You'll be able to see Dr. Azita Sayan and Mr. Gregory Morgan in your favorite seminars. Visit us today at embracegrowth.com. A man of character, responsibility, and resourcefulness. Become that man and join us on the journey towards manhood, finding a better person within. Embrace Growth is offering the Honor, Integrity, and Mastery Workshop in Hamburg, Toronto, Yerevan, and Los Angeles. Sign up today at embracegrowth.com and see the transformation in your life. The Embrace Growth app is finally here. You start by signing in just as you would online, and from there, you'll see all of your account settings. Once in the app, you'll have access to events and all of Embrace Growth's original content. Registering for workshops and seminars is easier than ever, and tools for managing your profile and options are built right in. Schedule private sessions and connect with the global Embrace Growth community. Download it today on the App Store. A haven for the weary soul, a source of inspiration and community, redesigned to bring you meaningful experiences and unforgettable events. We are a worldwide community of vibrant individuals, displayed in the people who are a part of it, from many nations, backgrounds, and beliefs. Through powerful outreach programs, the struggles of everyday life are confronted and conquered, transforming those who participate into the best versions of themselves. One-on-one sessions are available to keep you headed in the right direction, coupled with the best resources to remind you how to live, whether at home or elsewhere. Programs designed for men, providing the building blocks of maturity, commitment, integrity, and leadership, paving the way for productive and fulfilling manhood. Beyond an understanding of masculine leadership is its application in daily life and development into something truly unique. Exclusive training for women, encouraging growth and empowerment through an acceptance of their true identities. redefining interactions, and changing the viewpoint through which life is seen. Embracing the woman within and accessing facets of your personality hidden beneath the surface. Showing our youth the value of integrity and reliability by creating an indwelling desire to succeed with honor, basing the future on a solid foundation of ideals that will guide them through life, leading by example, and showing others how to clearly convey their thoughts in a compelling way, creating a culture of mature leaders who can help others achieve self-confidence and their goals. Real people and real lives are changed for the better. With every event, more are touched and come to an understanding of their place in this world and their community. Embrace Growth is run by a passionate team and led by the diligence and inspiration of Dr. Azita Sayan and Mr. Gregory Morgan, who consistently teach life lessons based on what works, rather than the passing fads of the times. Welcome to the Embrace Growth app. There's a new way to communicate and join in. Create your free account online and sign into the app. Manage your profile on the go and choose between English or Farsi. Register for events and schedule appointments more easily than ever. Stream audio, video, and download books all over Wi-Fi or cellular. Sign up for workshops and seminars right on your phone. And access your audio and video library in the palm of your hand. Take your favorite lessons from Dr. Azita Sayan and Mr. Gregory Morgan with you. Download it today on the App Store.
Welcome to the all-new EmbraceGrowth.com. You'll have access to all the content you love at the click of a button. Videos of seminars, events, and the ability to sign up for workshops. Direct access to digital downloads right from your mobile devices. Stay in the know and see our latest graduate events. Watch your favorites anytime, anywhere. Visit us today at EmbraceGrowth.com.